Good morning. It is Monday, November 1st. Hope you had a great Halloween. I dressed up, as always, like a dopey suburban dad. That was my costume, as it is almost every year. Oh, we had a great Halloween at our house. Tons of people visiting, and I'd say about 100 kids. Yeah, I hope you had a good turnout, too, or a good time going around with your family. Let's talk about the weather. It's a lot cooler today. You could feel the change coming yesterday, right? That breeze, the wind, a little colder. Yes, Saturday was so nice. Today, you're looking at about 44 for the high. Yeah, but that chilly breeze isn't going to make today super pleasant. Same deal tomorrow. But we do warm up for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all looking good, at least for now. So let's talk about this. You can't even complain about it being a little bit chilly because 30 years ago, right now, this was really the big day. We call it the Halloween blizzard, but it was November 1st where most of that snow really piled up. This is a legendary story. I was 16 years old when the Halloween blizzard hit, and I was living in suburban Chicago, so I have no idea what you guys are all talking about. But this video is amazing, isn't it? Yeah, end of October, and so it started piling up. But look at that giant pile of snow. Chris Schaefer talked with Paul Huttner, who's at NPR now and was on duty. Look at the weather technology we had at that time. Isn't it amazing? Oh, man, 28.4 inches of snow when all was said and done. The biggest storm still on record, coupled with Halloween. That's what made it so special. So we'd love to hear your stories. Where were you? Do you remember it? Do you wish we had some snow coming down right now today? Share your memories and your thoughts, and we'll read some of that coming up if you leave those at the WCCO TV Facebook page. I know some of you are watching this on my page, but we take the comments we read. I'll read your comments later if you put them on my page. Millions of dollars spent and thousands have already casted their ballots. Now's the final push, though, for deciding on the future of public safety in Minneapolis. Tomorrow is Election Day. Minneapolis residents will have the opportunity to vote on the day whether to replace the city's police department with a reimagined Department of Public Safety. School district investments may be on your ballot in your hometown. Rent control, an issue in both St. Paul and Minneapolis. Mayors, yep, up for re-election. City council members, all sorts of stuff going on. So you might want to do your research. WCCO.com/election will hook you up with your polling place and your sample ballot. This morning we wake up as Vikings fans kind of wondering, what the heck happened, and what is the future for this team? Will anyone lose their job because of this? You wonder. It's not usually the way the Vikings take care of business, mid-season firings, but, you know, fans will be talking about it. How about this tweet from the team, UGG, that describes it? Dallas winning with a touchdown with 51 seconds left on the clock. The Cowboys, with a backup quarterback, beat the Vikings 20-16. We just had to play more aggressively. You know, we had so many options in all of these field goals. 1 touchdown, 3 field goals. You're not going to win. It's not going to happen. Vikings go to Baltimore this coming Sunday. Ravens are 5-2. Chargers 4-3. You know, that might be winnable. And then the Packers are just dominating. 7-1, their record. They'll be here at US Bank Stadium. So a tough stretch ahead for the Vikings. They had a winnable game yesterday and choke city. The FDA has cleared the way for young kids to get their COVID vaccine later this week. CDC still has to sign off on it, but I know like people are already making plans to get that vaccine. Those child-sized doses will be distributed. They're already shipping. And so the state will be ready to kind of send them out if given the green light. This is for kids 5 to 11. Pfizer vaccine could happen as soon as Wednesday. Some FDA committee members said vaccinating the younger age group would really help slow the spread of the virus, as we are hearing of cases of adults getting COVID and likely from their infected kids. Moderna says the FDA does want more time to review the risk of heart inflammation in its COVID vaccine in children and teens. We're in that 12 to 17 age range. Moderna predicts the review might delay emergency use authorization of its vaccine for this age group until January. Said that review would also delay its coming application for the vaccine in younger children than that. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki has tested positive for COVID. She said she's vaccinated, only experiencing mild symptoms, said she tested positive a couple of days after somebody in her household did. Psaki has reportedly not had any in-person contact with President Biden in nearly a week. Lieutenant Governor here in Minnesota, Peggy Flanagan, is recovering from COVID right now. She says, she's an example of one of these cases from a younger kid. She said she got the virus after taking care of her 8-year-old daughter, who tested positive last week. Flanagan said she is fully vaccinated and has COVID cold-like symptoms. Spokesperson for the governor says he hasn't been together in person with the lieutenant governor in more than a week. Tears, hugs, laughter as Australia reopens its border for the first time in 20 months. Many families reuniting at Sydney's airport this morning. Passengers arriving from overseas. Such great moments. And nothing like arriving from overseas surrounded by a cavalcade of still photographers. Oh my God. This is crazy, isn't it? Look at this. My gosh. Oh, but the people are obliging with very emotional hugs. Residents don't have to quarantine. Restrictions are still in place for tourists and international students. Well, here we go again. Now it's American Airlines with an absolute train wreck of a weekend. Major cancellations and delays, including a handful at MSP Airport. American canceled around 270 flights today after more than 2,000 flights never took off over the weekend. Thousands of passengers left stranded around the country. The airline blaming the weather and staffing shortages that were first felt at its largest hub in Dallas-Fort Worth. Spokesperson for American says the airline does expect considerable improvement starting today. But we'll see. Earlier this month, it was Southwest Airlines with significant disruptions. We have seen flights through a bowling alley, a movie theater, Mall of America. Now new into our newsroom this morning, we're going to take a drone ride through Valley Fair. This is drone pilot Jay Christensen and Valley Fair sharing this video with us this morning. Takes us through the whole park, one shot. Don't crash. Wow, the timing of this is so cool. Valley Fair shared this video marking the end of this year's season. Valley Scare was so busy this weekend. My 16-year-old went to Valley Fair on Saturday night. You had to have a pre-sold ticket, so they were still trying to sort of limit capacity, but long lines. I mean, what do you expect night before Halloween? So cool. I'm sorry this doesn't get old. It doesn't. It's just amazing. It's amazing how they time it all out, how they go back and add that audio in. Just the whole package is so cool. Some of Minnesota's smallest hospital patients. Are you ready? Are you guys ready for this? Do you have enough space in your heart for all of the kind of love that we're about? All right, show them the pictures. Cupcake, come on. Centricare, St. Cloud Hospital. Their tremendous media relations person, Karna, who used to work here at Channel 4. Karna knows what I like in TV news coverage. And Hope, dressed up as a cupcake, who is 12 days old, born at 26 weeks. Getting great care in the neonatal intensive care unit. Here's Leo, dressed as Mr. Potato Head. Leo is 46 days old here, but Leo was born 10 weeks early, born at 30 weeks. It's just amazing. These kids all are going to have great lives, and that didn't used to be the case. It's just amazing. Elizabeth and Nathaniel. Thing one and thing two, I always like that costume. My friends, Danielle and Chad, who live on our block, have done that as adults. That's a costume that never gets old, and it sure is better on these 38-day-old babies. And how about Waylon, Pumpkin? Can't go wrong with Pumpkin Baby. Look, it's the knit hat for me. I mean, that's where it is. Waylon is just 5 days old, born at 39 weeks in the neonatal intensive care at Centricare in St. Cloud. Good stuff. Great people there at Centricare, and we appreciate all the nurses, especially, who are taking care of those babies and taking care of the families, too. I think seeing those cute pictures in costume and seeing your baby dressed up warms the heart, for sure. It does for us. All right, let's let her rip. Halloween blizzard. Where were you? Joanne remembers taking the bus to work and the bus almost getting stuck as it rounded a corner. She worked all day at Lions Pub, crazy busy with all the downtown workers enjoying the snow day. MTC announced, Metro Transit, that the buses were shutting down, and Joanne trudged through waist-high snow to get home. Wow. Thanks, Joanne. Here's Maggie. I was just a baby, but I've heard the stories. I had a cute cow costume, but nowhere to go. Yep. I mean, this is the I walked 5 miles to school uphill barefoot in the snow, but real, you know? Thanks, Maggie. Here's Kimberly. This ended up being my welcome to Minnesota. My family moved here that year. Oh my gosh, Kimberly arrived here just 2 days before that storm. Kimberly, we're glad you stayed. I don't know if a lot of families would make it. I mean, this storm would not have been nearly as iconic if it happened in January, right? It's because it started on Halloween. Thanks, Kimberly. Here's Bradley. In '91, Bradley was 8, living in the warm and humid paradise of Texas. Never seen that much snow in my life. If the Halloween storm that hit here were to hit Texas, the entire state would shut down for months. The funny thing, Bradley, is that snow melted away pretty quickly. I mean, it's a lot of snow, but it did melt as temperatures kind of went into more typical November temperature. One more comment from Becca. I was 9. It was the best trick-or-treating ever. Tons of candy and a snow day the next day. Exactly. I was thinking about that last night. You know, my kids were both at friends' houses watching movies, and I think my youngest may have trick-or-treated, but they got to be up and go to school today. I'll tell you, I wasn't too happy when the alarm went off this morning. We had a couple friends over last night. But I'm happy to be here. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's the morning update from CBSN Minnesota. We'll see you tomorrow.